August massively shook up the Beyblade X meta. Newcomer on the block, Shark Scale debuts in the top 10 blades, Aero Pegasus surges to a new high, and Pegasus Blast is finally able to put CX on the map. All of that and so much more are what we're going to get into today. There's so much to go over, and I'm going to keep you in the loop on the latest meta trends coming from the August WBO official winning tournament results. The insights and analysis that we're going to go over today all comes from the custom-made tool that I built with my friend Joss that takes thousands of data points from the official WBO winning combinations thread and pools them all into one place. This tool adds custom point values that determine the competitive success of not just all of the combos listed in the thread, but each individual part as well. And we're able to look at the rank changes from month to month to determine which direction the meta is heading. I provide this tool as well as this in-depth analysis completely free to the community, so if that's something you support, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel below, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and comment letting me know what you think. I deeply appreciate your support either way, and with that being said, let's get right into the analysis. Just before that, this video would not be possible without sponsors of the channel, Bays & Bricks and Newsel 3D. You can use code WIZARD at Bays & Bricks to get 8% off your next order and code WIZARD at Newsel 3D to get 10% off your next order as a great way to support the channel and save a few bucks. All of my testing I do would not be possible without the support of channel sponsor Newsel 3D and their dual launcher links as well as their ripcord attachments. Lastly, if you want to show your support besides just subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and liking this video, you can hit the join button down below and become an official member of the Anti-Wizard Wizard Club. Those who are using this Patreon-like service will give me a couple of dollars each month and really help me to afford different Beyblade products that come out, as well as get access to custom emojis in my live stream chats, early access to videos before they're uploaded for everyone else. You'll get shout outs at the end of my video, and even occasionally for the VIP members, I'll be handing out rare Bay Get codes when I have them available. Obviously, don't become a member just for those, but it's just a great way to show your support to the channel if you so choose and have the means. Also, if you just really like this video, you can go ahead and hit the super thanks button down below. It's effectively like a tip for videos that you really enjoy. Any amount is fine. Obviously, nothing is fine as well. Just you watching this video is already helping. Maybe leave a comment down below so the algorithm gods are pleased with me. But with that being said, thanks so much for watching. Let's jump right back into the video. So to kick things off, let's start with an overall review of what's changed from July to August in the Beyblade X meta. Wizard Rod 160 Hexa continues to knock Wizard Rod 960 Ball off of its dominant position as the #1 Wizard Rod combo. Rod on 160 Hexa has climbed 36 points from July, landing at the second most competitive combo of August, up 1 rank. Though despite this, Dragoon on 560 Elevate still holds the #1 most competitive combo spot. But do note that there is literally 1 point of difference between Dragoon on 560 Elevate and Wizard Rod on 160 Hexa, so they're both pretty much equally matched as far as the meta is concerned. And while Phoenix Wing still holds down a spot in the top 5 combos with 360 Rush, we do have some newcomers making way into the top 10 most competitive combos of August. Both Aero Pegasus and Hover Wyvern find their place in the top 10 most competitive combos of August, knocking out a few different variations of Phoenix Wing. Aero Pegasus lands in 7th and 10th place with 160 Kick and 360 Low Rush respectively. These two combos climbed the charts from July, specifically 360 Low Rush, which improved by 34 ranks. And Hover Wyvern has been showing up left and right in tournaments, specifically on 960 Kick. This combo feels tailor-made for Hover Wyvern, with the incredible versatile use of the kick bit with great stamina, as well as the balanced nature of the 960 ratchet. You're able to stay up and kicking a little bit longer with this one. Another variant of this combo, Hover Wyvern 960 Low Rush, is seeing significantly more play as well compared to July, going from rank 129 to rank 28th in August. Now, as I always say, when there are winners, there must be losers. And this month, it's a bit more of a philosophical conversation around the loser, which is Phoenix Wing. Now let me be clear, it's not like this blade is bad and trash and throw it out the window. That's not the case, but we're starting to see the early signs of the dominance of Phoenix Wing finally going away for good. It's like we're finally seeing the ripple effects of these incredible attack-oriented blades that have been releasing over the past few months. For context, Phoenix Wing went from having 7 spots in the top 20 combos to now just 4 spots in the top 20 combos. And between Aero Pegasus and Hover Wyvern, they went from only taking 3 of the top 20 combos to now 5 of the top 20 combos. To me, it feels like what's carrying Phoenix Wing in the competitive rankings is that it has A-tier performance with S-tier accessibility. And let me explain what I mean by that. There are other blades that seemingly are more superior, like Aero Pegasus or Hover Wyvern. But those blades are much more difficult to get, and frankly, new players aren't as exposed to them as they might be with Phoenix Wing. To get Aero Pegasus, you have to be aware that it exists as a rare Bay Get battle prize. You also have to know how to get it and have the funds and desire to spend that much to get it in your hands. And Hover Wyvern, sure, it's accessible, but it's locked behind a stadium set that's pretty expensive and probably not something most people want to spend the money on unless you're really taking the Beyblade competitive meta seriously. Now compare that to Phoenix Wing. Think about someone who's maybe a millennial, cared about Beyblades when they were a kid, walks into their Target for something else, walks past the toy aisle, sees the Phoenix Wing. Oh, this thing comes with the launcher I would need. Oh, I remember Beyblades. Well, let's just pick it up and have some fun. Or your friend's trying to tell you to get into it, and it's got the biggest bang for your buck with the 960 ratchet, comes with a string launcher, and it's a really powerful blade. The accessibility and the competitive performance of Phoenix Wing is just unmatched. And yes, you can get better performance from an Aero Pegasus, from a Hover Wyvern, from a Shark Scale, which we will talk about, don't worry. But you have to know those exist. You have to know how to get those in a place where you can't just buy them at a Target. Well, you can buy Hover Wyvern, but it's not as easy to buy. And you have to want to win badly enough to spend more money and time on those. The thing that's keeping Phoenix Wing in the meta in such a consistent way is the accessibility of the blade paired with good enough performance. But the data is showing us that that just might not be enough anymore, especially once these blades that are as strong as Hover Wyvern or other blades that are going to be coming within the next year or so really start to get put into players' hands. So we'll have to see if Phoenix Wing can survive the onslaught. But something else is going to take Phoenix Wing's place, and I hinted about it earlier. I think it's time for us to talk about Shark Scale. Shark Scale is the latest meta-defining threat in Beyblade X. In its first month appearing in the data, it ranks as the 8th most competitive blade, period. And its top combo, Shark Scale 450 Low Rush, comes in at the 16th most competitive combo in the dataset. And it's gathering points across 29 unique podium finishing combos in August, which is telling me that people are still highly experimental with what they want to make work on Shark Scale. And keep in mind, all of this is happening in August when every other product has had the full month of August to be competitive, be in players' hands, while Shark Scale has only been around really since mid-August. And there's some players that are only just now in late August, early September, getting their hands on the blade. So it's made this big of an impact while being highly unavailable to a vast majority of players. Now, if you want to know more about why Shark Scale is seeing so much success, I actually did a massive testing video on this blade and this product, the Shark Scale deck set as a whole, where I did 700 unique battles, over 10 hours of testing, and did all of the insights analysis to go along with that. That video is linked down below. I spent a lot of time on that one and gotten a lot of really good feedback. And spoiler alert, there are some combos in there that are a bit ahead of the curve as far as the meta is concerned. We'll talk more about that in this video, but make sure you check that one out if you haven't yet. This blade is extremely flexible, and you can probably find success with pretty much any attack-oriented combo or even some counter-attacking combos. but there are some parts that are rising to the top, at least as far as the August Beyblade meta is concerned. Low Rush seems to be the dominant bit that people are choosing to use and win with using Shark Scale, being present in 48.4% of the winning Shark Scale combos. And that's pretty closely followed by Level, Kick, and Rush. And for ratchets, the new 450 ratchet takes the lead, being present on 29.7% of the winning Shark Scale combos. The usual suspects follow that as far as competitive ratchets go used with Shark Scale, including 160, 360, and 760. Now, it's clear that Shark Scale is finding the most success getting nice and low with that 450 ratchet and Low Rush bit. But I'm going to tell you why I don't opt for exactly that combo. I personally took Shark Scale 450 level to a $1,000 pot prize tournament with over 81 bladers. It went 7 rounds of Swiss, and there was a top 32. And I made it to 3rd place in that tournament, barely missing out on the grand finals. And Shark Scale was critical to that success on 450 level. Yes, the 450 level build is ever so slightly taller than the 450 low rush build, but what you sacrifice in that height, you make up for in better stamina and better LAD. And it's also not tall enough versus 450 low rush where you're risking bursting, even going against the 450 low rush variant, but you still reap the benefits of being a low profile attacker, getting a lot of bursts, pockets, even extreme finishes or over finishes out of the shroud. It does what it needs to do with better stamina and better LAD than 450 low rush. I personally think that level and even kick are going to be long-term more successful builds on Shark Scale than low rush. Though low rush is obviously a great option, it's packing a bit more of attack power, but I think the stamina it sacrifices isn't quite worth it. Now, it's hard to speak about Shark Scale in this level of detail without talking about the 450 ratchet in particular. Doing a quick breakdown on the 450 ratchet, like Shark Scale, it did release mid-August and is already the 8th most competitive ratchet available, period. And it found that 8th place spot being used almost exclusively on Shark Scale. 68% of the 450 usage was on Shark Scale. I'm predicting that the usage of the 450 ratchet is going to go even higher in September once more players get their hands on the parts and realize how good the 450 ratchet height is, and that the liability being 4 sides isn't nearly as relevant as you might think it would be historically thinking about 4-sided ratchet performance. The ratchet's crazy, and I think it belongs in every meta deck until a different number of sides at a 50 height is released, which I have no idea when that will happen. But let's zoom out a bit. Instead of talking about just Shark Scale and 450, let's talk about the competitive performance of each type of part from July to August. First, the blade breakdown. Your top 3 blades have not changed. It's still Wizard Rod at 1, Phoenix Wing at 2, and Cobalt Dragoon at 3. However, Arrow Pegasus kicks Silverwolf down a couple spots, taking the 4th spot, followed by Hover Wyvern, rounding out your top 5 most competitive blades. Shark Scale and the other newcomer, Pegasus Blast, at least the main blade, sneak into the top 10 as well. And even looking at Blast and Shark Scale specifically, Shark Scale actually manages to outperform Blast, despite being available for much less time. Now, speaking of Blast, let's do a little small spotlight on the overall competitive success of the CX line as of today. Despite the Valkyrie Metal Lock Chip being objectively superior in many builds, not all, but many builds for CX blades, the data is showing that it's not a requirement for you to find competitive success with a CX combo. Of all of the lock chips used in CX combos within the August winning tournament results, only 22% used the Valkyrie lock chip. Now, I'm not saying that the combos that didn't use the Valkyrie lock chip wouldn't have been better off if they did use it. I think in a lot of cases that's true. But the fact is, those people likely didn't have access to the Valkyrie lock chip and were able to win anyway without it. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about the CX combos you might want to bring to your next tournament. Check out what's in the data and give it a shot. And speaking of assist blades, to no one's surprise, Wheel now rounds out your big 3 with Slash, and Jaggy alongside it as the most competitive assist blades for CX combos. Nothing else really comes close to those three. Now, rounding out with ratchets and bits. On the ratchet side, there's not too much I want to go over, just the fact that besides the notes about 450, 170 has entered the fray as the most popular 70 height ratchet, so definitely can find some competitive success and a spot in some people's decks. And as far as bits go, Low Rush and Kick are having their time in the sun. Low Rush climbs to the #1 most competitive bit from #2 in July, and Kick now is present in the top 5, ranking at #4, up 3 ranks from where it was at in July. We're also seeing a new entrant into the top 10 most competitive bits, with Low Orb coming in at 10th place. Whew. That's a lot, but that is just the beginning of what the data is telling us about the up and coming developing Beyblade X meta. In September, we're going to see the release of Soul Eclipse with the reversible main blade, as well as the new dual assist blade and the new bit Trans Kick. This could have potential to shake up the meta, although let's be real, I don't think it's going to be as big of a shakeup as the Shark Scale deck set was, but we'll have to see. But what do you think about all these different changes happening to the Beyblade X meta? It feels like we're really at a moment where the meta has changed in a more significant way than it has in a really long time. In my Shark Scale video, going over all the testing results, I said the anecdote that this feels like as big of a change as when Wizard Rod came out. And I know that's a huge statement to make, but I have not seen a singular blade have this much tested success and find its place in so many winning combos in such a short amount of time. I do really think that Shark Scale has upped the power ceiling of this game in an incredible way. It's a pretty wild time to be into Beyblade X. But let me know what you think about the August meta and also how it compares to your local meta. I'm really curious. If you want to let me know in the comments down below, I'd really appreciate it. Also, like I mentioned earlier in the video, comments always help out in terms of the YouTube algorithm. So if you want to let me know what you think of the video or what's going on in your meta, I'll take some time to respond. And remember, the full data set from not just this month, but all previous months, as well as the current full data set of the thread in its entirety, is available for free at the Google link in the description below. Take a look. I hope it's helpful for you. With that being said, like the video if you liked the video and subscribe for more awesome Beyblade X content in your feed very, very soon. Don't forget code WIZARD at Beyblade Bricks and Noozle 3D for 8 and 10% off respectively. If you want to support the channel even more, you can become an official member of the Anti-Wizard Wizard Club by hitting the join button down below and joining the YouTube membership program for this channel. It's a great way to show your support, a couple of bucks a month, similar to something like Patreon. If you really like this video, you can also just hit the super thanks button down below. Basically leaves like a little bit of a tip on the video. Always appreciated, never required. Just the fact that I have an audience that watches my videos is just amazing to me. So thank you so much for watching and liking and commenting and all that stuff. Huge shout out to the current members of the Anti-Wizard Wizard Club, including James Coe, Wraths, Greg Morgan, and Virtue. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel in the way that you do. It is incredibly meaningful to me that you take the time to do that. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan with Anti-Wizard Wizard Club, and welcome to the club.